Attorney Lynn Wood is under attack by a state court judge in Delaware over his work on the Kraken cases filed by Sidney Powell in 4 different states in an effort to secure the 2020 election for Donald Trump through the courts that has largely failed. Now that that has fizzled out and failed, it looks like there is a political attack coming from a Delaware judge over Lynn Wood's representation in the Kraken cases. This is from the Above the Law blog, and you can check it out if you want. Above the Law is very biased against Lynn Wood, and while I have criticisms of Lynn Wood, I do think that maybe the judge here is acting in a politically motivated sort of way and in a retributive way over the Kraken lawsuits. But Lynn Wood is representing Carter Page in Delaware. You may know who Carter Page is from the 2016 Trump campaign. He was the one that the government illegally targeted for a wiretap, which led to the entire Russia stealing the election scandal that went on forever during Trump's presidency and ended up being completely basically ignored and thrown out as meritless. Despite having all sorts of resources donated or dedicated to it. Carter Page was illegally targeted due to a lie from a FBI attorney, and that FBI attorney has been found guilty of making a materially false statement and is awaiting sentencing right now. But that is what led to this. Now Carter Page has filed a defamation suit in Delaware against Yahoo News and Huffington Post, and he has hired Lynn Wood to represent him. Lynn Wood was granted what's called pro hoc vice admission, which says that he gets to represent someone in a jurisdiction that he is not licensed. Lynn Wood is not a Delaware attorney. He is a Georgia attorney. But he has permission from the court in Delaware to go ahead and act as an attorney in that case. And in exchange, he agrees to abide by the rules of Delaware State courts, of Delaware law, and of the Delaware rules of professional conduct. Here's the snag, though. Lynn Wood isn't being targeted for removal from this suit based on his actions in Delaware. He's being targeted for removal in this suit based on his actions in the Kraken lawsuits, which are not in Delaware. They're outside the court's jurisdiction. So the court has ordered Lynn Wood to show cause as to why he should not be removed from the case. And largely his argument's going to be, I have followed all of the rules in Delaware. I've not violated any rules of Delaware professional conduct, so I shouldn't be removed from the case. It kind of looks to me, I'm just saying, it kind of looks to me like this is retribution for what they felt were improper suits, and I think it might be a little bit politically motivated. So the court has suggested there are some things that Wood has done that may or do violate the Delaware rules of civil procedure again, or of professional conduct, I should say, again, violating those rules, except not violating them because they're not done in Delaware, which is pretty important. But they say among the failures in the Wisconsin Kraken advocacy, the judge cited adding a plaintiff without his knowledge or consent, claiming to have filed papers under seal when this was not the case, requesting a TRO without the required supporting affidavit, failure to certify that adverse parties had received notification, improperly pleading for expeditious injunctive relief, and including a fabricated quote from a supporting case site in a pleading. Now, there's some nuance to all of those different things. One of the big ones, including a fabricated quote from a supported case site in a pleading, Lynn Wood didn't actually sign that pleading. Someone else did. And the biggest nuance in all this is I don't believe that Lynn Wood has been disciplined or sanctioned for any of these activities. So while a court may have decided that these things have happened, Lynn Wood has not had notice and an opportunity to respond to these allegations in any sort of professional responsibility sort of way. His case has not been presented. That's another problem with how this suit is, or with this sort of advocacy that he should be removed from a case for actions in another jurisdiction, actions which he has not even been disciplined for. They also criticize his filing of a lawsuit in Georgia against Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, because the judge said that the lawsuit had, quote, no basis in fact or law, which may violate a rule of civil procedure in Delaware. However, lawsuits are thrown out of various, with some level of regularity, as having no basis in fact or law, and that's not actually a violation of the rules of professional conduct of a state, because the question isn't whether they have no basis in fact or law, but it tends to be whether they knowingly had no basis in fact or law, whether they were intentionally filing a frivolous lawsuit. The Georgia litigation against Brad Raffensperger may have had no basis in fact or law, and I think that Mr. Wood made some missteps there. However, these are complicated and novel questions to be asking the court. And so to have them be non-based in fact or law doesn't necessarily mean they were maliciously frivolous or professionally incompetent to the point where they need disciplinary action. And certainly, as we've seen, Lin Wood has currently not been disciplined in the state of Georgia over that lawsuit. Another problem with saying that he violated some professional conduct rule is that he hasn't been alleged to have done it in the jurisdiction where it occurred. The judge was also not happy with Lin Wood filing the Ramsland affidavit in Georgia, which was referring to alleged fraud in Michigan. That has been a problem, and that affidavit was certainly a problem in the Georgia case, although it ended up not mattering because the case was dismissed prior to that affidavit being considered. But the judge is very mad about that. Now, again, I think that this looks and smells a little bit more political than this judge is making it out to be, but that is just my personal and humble opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I hope you found this insightful and informative. And this is reality of practicing law, and especially on high-profile cases in 2020, when things are broadcast to the world and said on the internet. You will come under attack. And Lin Wood and Sidney Powell are both going to be under attack quite a bit over their representations on behalf of Trump. Not as part of the Trump legal team, but with the stated goal or the intended goal of having Trump become president in 2020. So, like the video, share it, let people know what's going on. Drop me a comment in the description. We'll talk to you soon. Peace. Peace.